E ngā mana, e ngā reo, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Himalaya te maunga, ko Ganga te awa. Ko Murali Magesan ahau e mihi nui ana ki a koutou, e aku rangatira, tēnā koutou katoa. Namaste. The few words I spoke before was in the language of Māori. This is the language of the indigenous people of New Zealand. In essence, it translates to the authorities, to the languages, welcome. Himalaya is my mountain, Ganga is my river. My name is Murali Magesan. Greetings. And Amiji, as he mentioned before, I will be speaking on connecting with the host society. Of the colonized countries of the British Empire, New Zealand is one of the few countries where the indigenous people have been described as being more politically, socially, and culturally active. Learning about the Māori culture in New Zealand is very common and it is encouraged. And so as a child, I, as well as other Hindus, learned about the Māori culture, basic vocabulary, and as well as Māori song and dance. Similarly, the Hindu culture has been vastly promoted, accepted, and enjoyed in New Zealand. Be it festivals such as Holi and Deepavali, or the Hindu customs, practices, temples which are talked about at schools, universities, and in wider New Zealand, Hindu culture is quite visible. And it is becoming increasingly more well-known and popular. Hindu Dharma in New Zealand has a large following with approximately 90,000 people who align themselves to this. Hindus have connected to New Zealand in a large way through their contribution in terms of educational achievements, contributions in the various sectors of the New Zealand workforce, and their input to the New Zealand economy. Directly working within our community and extending out and getting involved with the wider New Zealand, Hindus have connected well with the host society. One of the well-established organizations of Hindus in New Zealand is the Hindu Council of New Zealand, which is Vishwa Hindu Parishad of New Zealand. Not only has there been organizing of Hindus within the various Hindu communities, there have been organization of Hindus in the various temple organizations in New Zealand, such as Swaminarayan Temple and the Hare Krishna Bhakti movement and so on. There have been efforts to bring the various Hindu organizations together through the Hota Forum that is established in New Zealand. Hota standing for Hindu Organizations and Temples Association. Hota is just one of the numerous efforts by the Hindu Council of New Zealand to connect with the New Zealand society, contribute to, and bring together communities. The celebration of Hindu festivals, be it Holi or Deepavali, have been having more and more impact in New Zealand. Though at first it was celebrated within our own community, the awareness and celebration of Hindu festivals have moved on to schools in New Zealand, the universities, and into the eyes of the public. Deepavali, one of the most popular Hindu festivals in the world, is annually celebrated in New Zealand in various cities, attracting large crowds. It is celebrated at the Parliament with traditional lighting of diya. It has been attended previously by the Prime Minister of New Zealand and a variety of ministers as well. The following are some images of community interaction, connection, and celebration of Hindu festivals in New Zealand. So the photos are of some performers at the Rotorua Deepavali Festival, which is unique in the sense it's smoke-free, alcohol-free, meat-free, and it's an event free to the public and has been held for many years, attracting a large crowd from all around New Zealand. The photo on the left is a photo of Holi, celebrated as a youth festival in the premises of a marae, which is the traditional gathering place of the Maori people in New Zealand. The photo on the right is Holi celebrated at a secondary school in New Zealand. In New Zealand, the members of the organizing committee for Holi and Deepavali previously have been Maori as well as Hindus, working together to hold these festivals. We are moving past the stage of just connecting with the host society to participation. The image on the left is an example of one of the efforts to raise health awareness in New Zealand It is a program in which a large number of people of non-Hindu backgrounds, such as New Zealand European, Maori, and many others are participating in it. It is the Yogathon, the marathon of Surya Namaskars held annually throughout New Zealand. The image on the right is the art of Maori tattooing, known as moko, and Hindu culture coming together as Mehndi Moko. The Hindu community have become part of New Zealand and connected with them. Further, we have connected with the indigenous people of New Zealand, the Maori. There are many similarities we share with them, such as attitudes to nature, our language, and culture. In 1997, during the Golden Jubilee celebration of Bharat, a Maori leader stated, "Waikato River is to Maoris as Ganga is to Hindus." Not only that, you see, when I was in primary school, I told my dad that the words that they spoke at school, like for example, to stand up, is the same words that we would use at home. Similarity between Maori and Hindu culture is quite strong. The Hindu community have also held gatherings to bring together the people who are both of Maori and Hindu descent and help them explore their culture and heritage. This photo that's up there now is of a dance at a Deepavali festival. Both of these cultures have come together. Hindu people have learned Maori dance, and Maori people learned dances of Bharat. Like the lighting of diya at the beginning of many of our Hindu festivals and programs in New Zealand, we've also had the traditional Maori welcome in many Hindu programs. There has been an integration and a connection with the Maori community. The photo on the left is an image of a marae. Marae is the traditional gathering place of the Maori. There has been annual marae stays for a number of years, giving the Hindu community a chance to experience the Maori culture. We've also taken part in Matariki, the Maori New Year celebrations. Participating in Maori festivals, events, and learning about the culture increased the understanding between the two communities. To honor this relationship, the Maori community gifted the Hindu community a hand-carved memento which represented Maori culture. To show gratitude and reciprocate this honor, Hindu community gifted a symbol of Hindu culture. This exchange of Hindu and Maori symbols of culture is called whakawhanaungatanga. This is a Maori word. The photo on the right is a photo of a carver of Maori and Hindu descent who was really touched by the Hindu-Maori whakawhanaungatanga. He readily accepted to carve the Ekta Shank, symbolizing unity among communities. This is a symbol of, in the Hota symbol. The Hindu community is a community which does not need to depend on the host society or the host community to survive. We are not weak. We are not a community which falls into those negative stereotypes who are a burden on the host society. We have contributed immensely to the host society in New Zealand. We have been recognized for our positive contribution. Our hardworking attitude has been appreciated. The Hindu community has, with its vast efforts, positioned itself to further enrich and positively impact the host society and the wider community. In order to influence the host society, it is important first that there is bonding and connection with the host society. Of course, it is good and well to discuss what we have done so far, but as always, the main focus will be to see what more we can do to further improve New Zealand society. The challenges before us, the current generation of students and young professionals, as to how we will uphold and define our dharma, how we will inform wider society about the identity of our civilization, how we will strategically organize ourselves to be leaders, entrepreneurs, servicemen, managers, scientists, doctors, engineers, bureaucrats, technocrats, and be a part of the labor workforce, living the Hindu way of life and contributing to the betterment of our country as a society. Hindu Dharma or Hindu way of life have time-tested and proven practices which can offer solutions to various alignments in society like family values, emphasis on education, offering cure to different medical conditions through yoga, Ayurveda, which the West is looking towards for solutions. We'd like to draw a plan to promote these practices and make them realize that Hindus can offer so much to the society. Thank you.